Welcome to the Slice of Life podcast. I'm your host, Tommy, with my two co hosts, Joshua and Horace, and our special guest, Kenneth. You guys like to introduce yourselves?
All right, I'm Horace. I mostly like comedy anime, but I do dabble in like everything else. So yeah.
All right, I'm Joshua. My favorite anime are Fate Zero, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and I watch a bunch of other stuff. To be honest.
I'm Tommy.
Hi.
I watch a lot of romances and like school life dramas. My favorite animes are Guilty Crown, Your Name, and Euphonium.
Yeah. My name's Kenneth, and I watch fantasy stuff, sort of like Konosuba and even Miss Kobayashi.
Wow, guys, you guys all didn't have to say favorite anime. Anyway, I don't really have one of my favorite, so
That's
cool.
fine. All right, let's go into what we're currently watching so far. So, what have you guys been currently watching right now?
Recently I watched the anime movie Akira, and I thought it was I thought it was really beautiful. I loved it's I thought it was a beautiful anime. It's not my thing though. I'm not a huge fan of sci-fi in general, so or dystopian sci-fi. So, but I thought it was a really interesting animated movie. Like its way of seeing light. It was like in like the constant action and like it's about this focus on a biker gang, which was really interesting as well.
I've been like, yeah, it's about isn't it like a special like high tech bike or something? Because I remember I saw like, I didn't watch it. I've seen like a poster of it like when I was like really young and watched TV a lot. Like,
It I would say it looks high tech, but it functions just like a bike, so it's not really. I wouldn't say it's high tech. I'll just be like it looks futuristic.
I don't know. To me, it looks like the I don't know if you watch Yu-Gi-Oh 5D, but it really looks like one of those bikes out. Wow.
I definitely don't. I've stopped watching Yu-Gi-Oh because I'm not a 5-year-old. Anyway.
Hey, calm down.
Damn.
Um,
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch Akira, but it's one of those like classic anime that everybody's like heard about. But
Yeah.
I just never really got around to it. Like Kira, Ghost in the Shell. I really just need to get back to like all
It,
those ones and watch them.
it's nice. I don't know. I that was kind of what I did on my day off from being sick for a long time. Yeah.
This sounds good to me, but as you guys know, I actually did not know Ghost in the Shell was an anime before finding out that it was a game made off of anime. So I feel really bad about that one.
Yeah, the thing what's weird about you is that like you're a really big weeb, but you're uncultured weeb.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I actually just like watch my own genres though. And sometimes I watch the same stuff.
Caught in between two worlds.
See, I can't say that because I would say pay respect to the greats, but I've never watched Neon Genesis Evangelion, and I feel like
Me either.
that's
Wait, you have not, don't you? I feel like that's so easy to ask.
yes. I have no look. The problem with the greats is that they're mostly sci-fi, and that's like my least favorite genre ever.
So
That's
me-
true. I don't watch sci-fi anime.
Me and Horace share the same common unliking of mecha animes, but I watched Evangelion just like this summer, and I actually like I don't know why. It was actually a really good anime. It's just that I hate that there's like 5 different endings that can happen to it. I was like, can I just get a definitive ending, please?
I think that's mostly because I think part of that's because you're dumb, right? That makes sense. You can't.
My heart.
But
But no, like anime, like that's one of the reasons that I think like what I was talking about before, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood's better than normal Full Metal Alchemist, just because the ending's less convoluted. Like endings are just so important. So yeah, I can get that. I understand that feel.
hmm.
Yeah. I'm just surprised that like you're a big Netflix watcher, but you still haven't watched Evangelion. But I guess
Dude, I don't watch anime on Netflix. That's degenerate. Oh, except for the other anime I forgot that we mentioned, Anohana, because I was thinking about Tommy, and I was like, wow.
Anohana
And I
is the only anime to ever make me cry. And well, I think there's other one more I can't remember, but Anohana is the big
is it
one.
like Your Lie or Your Lie in April? But
Yes, it's just that it gets real because Your Lie. Well, no, not Your Lie. I was thinking Silent Voice, but it really goes into like people's backstories and like redemption and stuff, and one of them just fit me so well, and I was like, I just like I didn't like bawl my eyes out or anything. It was like I just noticed, hey, why am I tearing up? But yeah, I'm a fraud, so yeah.
Mainly, I was thinking like, I don't know what to say. It's a very big melodrama, and I'm not huge into them, but I walked away thinking I wouldn't say I had a good time because it's a melodrama. So I was kind of like, wow, this sucks. I felt terrible after it, but I think it was well done. I mean, if you're big, I
You actually
just
watched
very sick. Yeah. Oh, and I also watched. Yeah, I finished it. I also watched Toradora. I forgot that one. Yeah,
Toradora.
Yeah,
Toradora.
Toradora's good.
Toradora's
Yeah.
really good. I'm just surprised that you just know.
No, I don't like. I thought. Okay, when I first I watched the first episode a couple years back, and I thought it was okay, but I thought it was just a regular romance, like a regular like triangle romance that's going to go on forever, which I hate those because it feels, I don't know.
Yeah, it feels like
But in the beginning, I think it's very interesting because I feel like it doesn't go in that direction. Like after the first 4 episodes, I felt like it was different, but then it like
you knew
the
they were
setup.
gonna.
Yeah, you knew they were going to get together. Now I felt like it was pretty clear that the guy that she was going after did not like her anymore. It was over. But so I was like, oh, this is inevitable. But the problem was when I realized, oh no, this is still going to be a love triangle for 24 episodes. And the problem with, and I hate those series because it doesn't feel like it's authentic. It feels like wherever they're like they have to come up with new plot, like something new to interrupt something that was going to be should happen already. So it feels like the show should end like way sooner than it actually does.
Yeah.
Like there was like one instance where in one episode where they're about to confess their love together, and then out of nowhere the mom comes out. Well, no, they said, wait, before I give you my confession, let me go to work. So then they go to work, and then they get out and they meet their moms, and their moms make them split up. I was like, wait a minute, we just wasted 12 minutes dealing with work and for no reason. Anyway.
Wait, so you finished Toradora, right?
Yeah.
So just a disclaimer, spoiler word out there. The thing I hated about Toradora was, so yeah, I do generally hate the obvious love triangle from beginning to end, right? But near the end, when it was really like the last 2 episodes, they just noticed, wait, hold up, wait, I spent this whole entire series, right, like trying to get this girl, and then just the last 2 episodes you just noticed. I don't know. I feel like it's like too fast.
I feel like that falls into my biggest problem, which is I hate the main protagonist because he's not believable. Like, how are you? I was like, I didn't really understand his relationship to her, like the main girl, Taiga.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, so you cook her meals, you let her stay for lunch, you let her stay at her house, you obey her every command, and you think this is just a friendship? Like, this is not even a good relationship, period. Like, what is she doing for him? That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah, I don't know, not that good.
Yeah.
So your consensus that Toradora is not good?
Yes,
Because Toradora is good.
No.
And you're both tripping.
Wait, why? Okay, no, I didn't say it's bad. I just hate the ending. Like, I really just hate the ending.
I think the ending...
Like the ending's the whole point.
No, the ending's the whole point. I was just like, at least like notice gradually. And I think like what they could have done was like, okay, he noticed it, right? But one of them doesn't notice, right? And then it's just like, oh shit. And then, but it's like literally at the last moment, you're like, oh wait, I have feelings for this person. Let me just.
Like, I feel like you guys are just like like your criticisms are like problems that like all romance anime have.
Well,
So I don't really see your point. You know, like
No, but I don't think. Well, I don't think the. Well, I just think that the main protagonist is just unbelievable. I will say I'll agree that I just think that my love triangle thing is just like a problem, like a personal problem. But I just
I don't think the problems with the I don't think the problems with the like main protagonist. I think it's that you just don't like you don't feel like you would like be in such a relationship where you have to put in so much work. Like there are relationships like that, right?
yeah.
Like it's not like it's not unbelievable. That's not what I would call that.
I think it's realistic.
Really.
Yeah,
Uh,
no. There's definitely relationships where one person puts a lot more work in than others. It's just real
sounds
life.
like a bad relationship. I feel like
no
life
relationship's
provides
perfect.
time.
Every
life
relationship's gonna have problems.
So
Yeah.
I haven't watched Toradora in a long time, but if I'm not correct me on this, but Taiga did knew by the end that the scary looking guy, she had feelings for him like middle of the season, while he just noticed her in the end, right? Or I don't.
No, I feel like he knew way before her.
He knew way before her that he had feelings for her.
Yeah, no, he figures it out like very soon. Like as soon as like he like there was like a time thing where she got suspended, which was crazy. Yeah, that was something. I was like she should have been expelled, but but there was a time skip where she was suspended from school and then she came back and he was like, "Oh, I miss her. Oh, I like her. Oh, that's a problem." And then
Because like so again, it's been a while since I watched Toradora. The one thing I remembered, like the big thing I remember was like the whole Christmas scene, where like he's trying to, so he was still in love with like the other girl, right? And he's trying to do everything for her during this Christmas thing. But then like as Tiger's like staying at home, she actually just like goes up on stage with like the other girl, the bitchy girl, and starts singing with her like a Christmas song. And after that, I just remember like it's Valentine's Day, and then like boom, they both fail, and yeah, the whole ending happens.
yeah, the ending's weird, strange, and not. I don't think it's that good, but I just thought it was a weird solution to everyone's problems. I feel like you can just been. I don't know. This is a personal side, but I was like, Taiga, you could have just gone back. I mean, and then actually, I thought it was a genius move by the main protagonist, Marion Rich. I was like, wow, that's incredible. But I'm not sure marriage was the op. I don't know. I would disagree with the option of marriage, but
Yeah. But,
whatever.
My thing I love about Toradora was like, so it was like obviously the main character, like though as a watcher, you know that they like each other, right? But because like they like someone else, and they're so like one sided on that, I actually do like the idea, because some anime try to pull it off, but it doesn't work, and like it just gets really bad. But this one actually pulls it off, where like you can feel like you understand why they don't notice it at first, because they're just like so blindsided on like this one like love interest and something. That's what I liked about Toradora in general. Like I don't think it's bad to say the ending, but I like Toradora.
You know what? I will say I love how they treated relationships between characters, because I think I loved everyone's plot. I mean, I loved every character. Every character was just well developed and well written. I felt like every character. At first, I was like, "Oh, the redhead girl. I don't remember her name. I thought she was just a gimmicky character just for fun." But then, as time evolved, it felt like she got the character development that I felt like I cared about her. Model girl, I ended up liking her at the end, which I didn't believe that was so. So I felt like those are strong. I thought that was really strong. And then I believed everyone liked each other, which seems easy because it's a romance, but it's not. Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about Toradora before we move on?
I realized that while watching it is that I think the most interesting point for me in which why I liked it is that it's not necessarily. I feel like some animes fail for trying by focusing on the point of trying to falling in love with each other and like just getting together. Where I feel like Toradora examines a relationship, which is just refreshing.
Kenny, you want to say
Anyway.
anything about
But it's still trash. That's what you're saying.
Toradora?
Yeah, I don't like it anyway. It's cool.
All right. All right.
Alright, I guess we'll move on. So, besides that, I've actually been rewatching a lot of shows. I don't know why I do this a lot, but mostly because I watch anime by myself sometimes, but then I like to watch it with groups. So I've been recently watching I'm rewatching with one person Gamers, and then with another person I've been watching Kotaro Connect, and as I rewatch it, because this is my second time watching Kotaro Connect, I really noticed I rate the show like probably an 8 out of 10, and I actually think I should bump it up because honestly I really do like the show and like what like the purpose of it. It's like the sci-fi of it actually it seems like the main point of it, but it's really not. It's like a redemption kind of like sappy, but like still integrating this like sci-fi really well. I don't know. I know Forrest watched it.
Yeah. So you guys forced me to watch like 2 episodes of this, right?
Yes.
And
Well, no, I didn't force you. It was
Yeah, I
all right,
Oh.
whatever, right? But it just seems like a worse Monogatari. Not gonna lie.
still have not. Monogatari yet, but I still.
You know, none of you guys have delved into that, but Monogatari is amazing, and it's
You know-
just not a worse version.
Here's the thing. Monogatari could be amazing. I'm just not a big fan enough. And I just don't want to watch it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't. It's so good, dude.
I feel like there's
Like
just a
ending,
lot.
like by the time I don't know. I feel like you just have to watch it. It's one of those, and you may not like it, but like at least one of you guys.
But yeah. Other than that, I've been watching Tokyo Ghoul again. Mostly because I've stopped at the second season of the 8, so I haven't watched season 3 or season 4 yet. But I was like, wait, there's like season 4 came out like a couple of months ago, and I was like, wait, let me watch it, rewatch it, or I'm trying to watch the first episode of season 3. Didn't understand a single thing, so right now I'm currently watching season 2. So yeah, no, I'm like it's a long
You know what? It has. I want to go back to the Kokoro Connect point because I'm starting to realize my opinions of that show has changed after watching it. Well, actually, after having been a while away from it, I don't know. I feel like it depends on a lot more on shock factor than it needed to than for like a really good story, but I think it's still okay.
Well, when I watched it with a group of friends, it wasn't like the shock factor like at them. It was like it actually felt so real. I don't know. They told me it felt so real to them, like of how people act, like and how like mask and stuff. Because I think it like dealt with the girl, the girl who had like many masks because of her parents or her dad. So like when talking about that, they're like, yeah, no, this is actually really good. Like I can make many connections for it and still be really funny with like everything that happens into it. It's like I don't know.
I guess we could. Some parts can be funny. I don't know. I wish that they delved more. I feel like it was so like the ridiculous parts of where it's just a little too ridiculous for me, and I felt like it was so very very dramatic at times when I feel like it didn't need to be, but I don't know. I thought it was still fine. It's calmed down, but it's fine.
Yeah. Any other animes you want to talk about?
Sure.
That you've been watching?
So recently, I watched the movie Heaven's Feel 2, right? So it's Fate Stay Night, Heaven's Feel. It's the second movie out of 3. It came out a while ago, but just came out on Blu-ray, so I was able to watch it. And it's really good. And like I think I think the Fate franchise, like, I think it gets a lot of. I think like one of the biggest flaws with it is that just like everything hasn't been adapted yet, you know, and it's hard to get into from that. But like, it's like the movie is just really good.
So I come from watching Fate Zero to Fate Stay Night, and then I watched Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. So I know there's 3 branches going into it. I know there's Heaven's Field, Stay Night, and I can't remember the third one. But like how different and regular Stay Night. How different is Heaven's Field to like like Stay Night or Ultimate Blade Works?
Yeah, Heaven's feels really different, to be honest. Like, it's just like it's the most different from the other routes. It's darker. It's like it has the most different events. Like a lot of the servants like die extremely early, and honestly, it's not my favorite route, but I think it's a really important route, especially if you watch Fate Zero, because like it answers a lot of the questions that Fate Zero like posed that Unlimited Blade Works doesn't like answer,
Yeah.
and like the movie is just really well directed. It looks beautiful. Like it's probably like one of the fights is probably the best animation like I've seen in a while. It's just like a great mix of CGI and traditional animation. It's just really good.
I don't know. I'm just saying, you know, the Gilgamesh versus Rider fight was really good in Ultimate Blade Works. Oh no, that's Zero.
You know,
Zero.
yeah, that's Zero. Like they have Saber versus Berserker and like an actual like I know that happens in Unlimited Blade Works, right? But they have an actual fight.
Yeah.
It's sick.
Yeah. But like speaking of movies, yeah, one of like the big movies like everyone's been going off of it because of Your Name's like big success that came off was
No.
With You. And
Oh.
I'm waiting for the day that I can actually watch it and then share it. But yes, it literally comes out in the U.S. like a couple of. I'm pretty sure it already came out. But, these are just.
I feel like it's just gonna be really samey to Your Name.
Yeah, and I don't think I want to watch Your Name again. Your Name.
That's true.
Your Name, again, there's a reason why Your Name was like really good and like.
See, you guys don't know, but any podcast listeners, Tommy's been obsessed with Your Name
Yes.
for
I
too
do.
long.
I mean, I do agree.
For far too long, because it was just an okay movie, and just not that good. Very, yeah, I don't know, not good.
It's a pretty good movie. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it's a bad movie, right? It's overrated, obviously.
Yeah, I think that's more of a that's. a
Does it
better way
deserve to
say
be like the most successful anime movie for whatever? Absolutely not.
it. No,
There's better anime movies that have come out, right? For
I guess that's my
But, like,
fault.
I think it's an anime movie that can like resonate with non-anime audiences, and that's why it became so popular, right? But isn't it especially like amazing movie? No. So that's how I feel about it.
Like he can say that, but like for Spirit Away, like it didn't really resonate. I don't know. Like, as I watched it, I watched Spirit Away very.
Spirit
early.
Away is such a better movie.
Yeah, Spirit Away is really cool.
Yeah,
Very
but
interesting.
that's like the two anime watcher, right? Like I think it's a really good movie. I don't think it's better than Your Name, but I also it's a really good movie. But like
Well, that's
when you
because
try-
you're Tommy and you love Your Name. You know.
When we try to resonate it with other like non-anime, like who would actually watch like Spirit Away over like your like you know. Yeah, but yeah,
You know what? You
Plenty
know
of-
who would watch it? Many people. Yeah.
Like Spirit Away is just like it's just like that. It's another movie that can resonate with non-anime. It's like I feel like if Spirited Away like it also just came out at a time where anime was less popular in the West. Anime is becoming more and more like accepted, right? It's obviously not like completely mainstream, right? But like it's still like it's. I feel like if Spirit Away came out now, it would probably be as big or bigger than Your Name.
Also, you're actually I can't even say that point, but it's weird that you to compare the movies because one's like this sci-fi but set in Monday, and one's Spirited Away in this magical land, but it's too different. But I feel like it'd be two different audience, and I feel like it has like Spirited Away has a younger audience, or trying to focus on a younger audience, but can be appreciated by all.
like it's not like all story wise. Like I think Your Name is just like a better over like general. Like it doesn't do everything the best. The one thing it does do the best is like graphically wise. Like it's so realistic, and like over like some anime movies like that. Like it really just stuns people of how well because Makoto Shinkai legit like just draws out every scene and like all the sponsorship he has to do or get the rights to. Like everything in Your Name was like from Japan, and it was like the exact same scenery. And I don't know.
Like it looks beautiful. It sounds beautiful.
Uh,
I wouldn't praise the story as much as
Yeah, I feel like
yeah, the story
and the
It was-
character. Like it's good, right? But it's not a masterpiece, right? And that's what some like.
Yeah.
That's what I would call Spirited Away. So
Hmm.
But yeah, moving away from that, I just want to say that because I'm actually just so excited to watch Wuthering with You, even though it may be really bad. I actually have seen some reviews, not that bad, but moving away from that, I don't like second season of Teasing came out, and I'm so not excited for this. I actually don't like the second season of Teasing. I think Teasing overall was overrated. It's like the full name is like something Teasing. I don't really care. It's a teasing anime.
Wait.
Boy and girl.
Wait, I actually have. I don't know what teasing anime is. Please.
So yeah, I can explain. It's a guy and girl. I think they're elementary school. They sit right next to each other. This girl likes him, and the first thing was like behind this eraser says something.
is this like big forehead?
Yeah, this big forehead teasing one.
Oh God.
Yeah, I actually okay. So I liked it at first, but then the more I watch it, I hate season 1 now, and then season 2 I haven't watched it yet, but I think it's gonna be so bad. I cannot see how this anime becomes better. I think
Wait,
it's so
wait,
repetitive.
wait. I think you need to keep going with this
Oh, sorry, yeah.
explanation.
So the first thing was like behind this eraser is like said something, right? It's like it's the 50-50 chance. It says like you got pranked or something, and the other side is like I love you, right? And then he's like confident, like what if this eraser says something? It's like over exaggeration. If you've seen it's like Nichijou. It's like an over exaggeration of everything. And then when he pulls the wrong one, and then it's just like about this girl who likes him, teasing him for the rest of his life.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Okay, but yeah, I'm not sure about that one.
I did
Uh,
not like this series after like the first 3 episodes because I noticed how repetitive it was.
Yeah,
And
I feel like
I don't know why I got a season 2. I think it should have stayed on season 1. Like everyone liked it. Like people who liked
I
it.
think.
I feel
Well, I
like
think
it's
the
one
manga
of the-
sales went up. If you want to be,
Yeah, stop
if
saying
you want to
manga.
be actual.
I forgot. Anime is its own thing. It's some manga.
It's also like
Yeah, we don't
it's
read.
like one of those series that you can just kind of drop it at any episode because you don't need to watch all of it.
Speaking about manga though, like have you guys read any manga recently? I know Joshua has.
Yeah.
I have too many degenerate ones. I don't wanna discuss at this
See
time.
things. I can't expose myself, right? But I have been reading this manga, Spy X Family, and it's about like so. There's this spy, and he's like a renowned spy, famous, gets every job done perfectly, but then he gets a job that he has to infiltrate this school by raising a daughter to be friends with the son of this like big figurehead in the country. So, but pretty much he's never raised a family, obviously, right? So he has to get a fake wife, his daughter, like adopt an orphan, and it's just really good. It's funny, right? It's a comedy. It's slice of life. It's just really hilarious. It's a good manga.
Yeah, I can see it.
And oh yeah, I forgot to mention that the daughter can read minds. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a small plot point. It's obviously it's less relevant than you would think it would be. But yeah.
Wow. For me, I've been I literally been only reading Fruit Baskets because going to like a bookstore, they had a sale, and I just picked up Fruit Baskets, like the first 2 volumes, and as it came out just recently, like the newer version, I actually liked it coming from like reading like the first couple of like chapters off of like the light novel version of it, and seeing it like I honestly I've tried to watch the old version, and I don't know. Maybe it's because like I'm a newer generation, and like seeing the animation, it's not bad. I've watched older animation stuff and liked it, but watching Fruit Basket and like then reading it or reading it then watching it, I did not expect it. But seeing Fruit Baskets like as like reamped with new animations, and like it's actually a lot of things have changed. I actually kind of like the new Fruit Basket. I don't know. I haven't watched all of it yet. I've been too busy with other ones like Tokyo. That's been taking all my time. But yeah, I'm actually.
I watched the original series and I enjoyed it, but I watched like the first episode of the new one and I realized, just a different time. I can't really watch anime like that anymore.
Well, like again, like a lot of things have apparently a lot of things have changed. Like they changed a lot. There's like Fullmetal Alchemist to Brotherhood. I don't know. That's what I heard about it. Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah. They should make a Brotherhood for like every series. I can't wait for Bleach Brotherhood.
Yeah,
It's gonna be nice.
But yeah, other than that, I don't know. So I know you said you've watched Demon Slayers or
Yeah.
what is that? I've only seen like snippets of stuff, and I don't know anything about Demon Slayers. But it's so popular right now.
Honestly, it's just a pretty like average shonen for most of it. But like the latest like episodes have just been really good. And I think that's why everybody it hasn't like it was just like beautiful animation, really emotional. It's just like I wouldn't like I would I think it's worth watching it just to get to those episodes. Like they're just really good.
Okay, so
Even
like,
if you drop it after that and you don't care anymore.
so like it's worth watching, right? But like I also hear stuff like again I haven't watched these at all, but like these are the mainstream ones for this season. So like Doctor Stone, Firefighter Force. I'm obviously watching Danmachi or Is It Wrong for Girls anime, and then Demon Slayer. Like those are the big ones, and yeah, like I don't know how I feel about some of them. Like I've heard Firefighter is bad, and I think just from listening to summaries or reading summaries is bad. I haven't watched Doctor Stone yet. I don't know if I want to, seeing this onion-haired guy's head.
Look,
Honestly, I think
think-
the Doctor Stone manga is better than the anime.
honestly, I think you have to be really into science to watch that anime, and it's more like I don't know. I don't like shonen. I watched a bit of it, and I'm not a big fan of the shonen science. We got well, we have to unencase the world in stone element. Just not that interesting. But I also think it's just not more for me.
Like, I don't think the anime is that good, to be honest. And I've read a decent amount of the manga, but I realized I also dropped and stopped reading the manga, right? So I think it's pretty entertaining, but I think like you just like after a while like after a while like I just got the formula and I was like, okay, I'm done. I wouldn't say it's not bad. It's just like I think the anime is a worse version of the manga, and I don't think the manga is that good. Pretty much.
Yeah, I understand how you feel about that because watching Boruto, I'm a big I literally started off like one of my big mainstream ones was Naruto, and I've like finished it, including fillers and everything. But when watching like I've read Boruto first because the anime took so long to come out before the manga just surpassed it, and I actually like I don't know, I've reading Boruto, I've stopped reading it too, but it gets really old, and like especially after watching Naruto for such a long time and seeing how good like early Naruto was and seeing how bad early Boruto is, I really hope that I hear some good things about Boruto as an adult, because if I'm not, I think this thing is dead and they should just stop the Naruto.
Yeah. But I heard that he's making a new series. The guy who made Naruto. In fact, I checked out his first chapter. I cannot remember the name, but it's about this. I think it's a Robo Samurai, but since it's sci-fi, I dropped it. It's,
Good.
Yeah, I saw that. I think it looked whatever, but like,
Yeah.
honestly, I don't really care about Boruto. Like, I didn't watch all of Naruto, but I would call myself a Naruto fan.
Yeah,
And how I feel about Boruto is that like since they gave it a different name, I don't feel obligated to like. I feel like Naruto's done, and Boruto's just like I feel the same way about Boruto that I feel about like Dragon Ball GT. I'm not saying Boruto's GT, right? Maybe it is in a lot of ways, right? But you
Yeah,
know,
but, like-
I can like kind of separate it from like the main thing, you know?
Yeah, I get that. Especially watching GT.
Yeah, I would also agree. I've watched all of Naruto, and when I came out, I did watch a lot of Boruto, but I couldn't get into it because it was just so different from the original series, and I realized I just didn't like it, and I kind of just dropped it because I wanted to watch Naruto. So I realized if I wanna just watch Naruto, I should have just watched Naruto.
I guess like moving on. This season has been really bad. Like especially because none of us have really watched anything from it. Like I'm not even watching like some Black Clover stuff anymore. Some of the animes I expected to be good, like Teasing, apparently isn't. I'm literally only again watching the Danmachi series, but next season like it's gonna be interesting because we're gonna get like what is it, My Hero Academia season 4. We're gonna get like Sword Art Online. We're gonna get freaking Food Wars, season 4 or something like that. And I'm so excited because Food Wars. I'm really big on Food Wars, and I feel hungry every time I eat it, but I can never get the OPs for it. But there's just like big names like Psycho-Pass season 3. Even though none of us literally watched Psycho-Pass.
Hey, don't expose us like that. Come on, bro.
Yeah, Psychopaths. Well, I already established one. That's not one of mine. Anyway.
You don't watch stuff.
Oh, that's just.
The actual truth.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
how do you feel about next season? Like, big
I
names.
I don't know. I really hope I like it as much as more than I like this season, because this season, I may check out My Hero Academia because I don't. I still want to see what happens, but I'm not as into the series as I once was.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm not sure. I'm waiting to be surprised.
I could see myself watching like maybe if like everything's good, I could be watching like 4 series, or I could only be watching 1. Right? Like
Do you know a lot about the Fate Grand Order? Is that a series or a movie coming out?
that's a series, and I'm pretty sure that's gonna be good. So I'm excited to watch that. That's the one. That's the one that I'm definitely gonna watch. Right? But like, I could be watching new season of Seven Deadly Sins, or I could be like, nah.
Yeah.
You know,
I think
or
the only
like
one I'm-
same thing for like a bunch of other series. But
I'm
yeah,
guaranteed to watch is Food Wars and maybe Sword Art Online. I literally may drop it just like I was so excited for Alicization when it first came out, and then like midway I just gave up. Like I don't know, it's just like schoolwork or some just stuff in general. And then I still need to finish it to watch War of the Underworld, but like I don't know. I think the only guaranteed one so far is like Food Wars, and then I'll see how My Hero turns out for like the first couple episodes before I say this is bad and then continue to watch it because it's bad.
Wait, we should probably talk about why we think it's bad, because this
Oh,
is.
My Hero.
well, yeah, we all agree My Hero's not that good, and you could say, some people will say that we're just like hipsters trying to hate what's popular, but it could also just not be that good.
I'll explain my reason for hating My Hero. I think season 1 was really good. I like the start of season. I actually like always having a tournament arc. I don't know. It's always interesting to see people face up against each other. But then like, it's not that it got too repetitive, but I had that feeling like nothing is gonna surprise me. And like the only good fight was like I can't remember, All for One versus One for All, and that was like the only good fight, right? But the build up between that I feel like was not that interesting. I don't know. That's just my feeling of why I hate My Hero.
Yeah, like it's okay. You talk first, actually.
Well, I feel like Tommy touched on it, but my biggest problem is that I don't like its pacing, which is because I feel like it's just too fast. So when I start to enjoy something, it's already moved on to the next arc. So like One for All for One versus One for All, I thought that was just I don't really like that fight because I felt like it was built up the entire. It felt like I was like, oh, I guess we're going to fight. Like this arc is started, ended in like started the fight happened and ended in the span of like 3 episodes. It felt like I was like, well, I would wish that I would wish I would know more about like All for One, like because he was literally shown for like 1 second before the fight. And uh, I don't know. I like the concept, but other than that, it kind of fell off for me.
Yeah, like that scene where All For One appears, it's so cool, right? Like he's just like floating over like exploded building. That's like peak My Hero, right? But then the fight, I actually agree. I don't really like it that much. I'm just like, it's just like whatever. And the final punch at the end, like I was like, wow, that was cool, you know. But like, is that the strongest villain just got taken out? Really?
Yeah.
Really? That just happened? All right.
I just remember I don't like the villain now that we have, which is that hand guy. This hand covering his face. I thought it was just he seems just too weak for me. I know there's another villain coming on the horizon, but not a big fan.
I don't know. I just think of Pinky Girl who's like to stab people. Whenever I think of villains, she's the only one that pops. And then the Void guy. But yeah, no, I definitely forgot about that. The main, see, that's really bad when you know the main villain is forgettable.
Yeah.
Because I
That's
definitely forgot he existed at first. I was just definitely thinking of like Stabby Girl who wants to like suck Deku's blood or whatever, like a vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think people need to accept that Bleach is better than My Hero. Okay, next.
All right, relax.
Yeah, none of us have watched Bleach.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
move on.
I do not stand by this opinion.
Let's move on.
Alright, moving on. I guess you want to cover cover like anime you're currently watching, or anything before we actually move on.
Anything else written down?
No, not really. I don't really. Mm.
Alright.
No, actually, let's ask our special guest.
Kinda.
Never mind. All right.
Alright.
Look, Kenny's kind of shy. He's like a turtle, you know. Maybe he'll come out with a shell eventually.
So I guess
Maybe.
one of the bigger things I want to talk about is like what started us into like anime, and like what was our first series, or what was the first couple of series, like, you know, and like what are some of our like minor. So I'm guessing we all came from like major mainstream animes like Dragon Ball Z or Naruto. But like, what was like some of the smaller ones you first started watching off that made us like the the fantasy series or the romance or whatever series?
All right, I'll start off. So, like, if you you don't count like American TV stuff. Like, I watched like Pokemon obviously when I was younger. Then I watched some like DBZ. But I think when I actually started getting to anime, it's funny. The anime I really watched was Pitchy Pitchy Pitch, right?
Yikes.
A nice magical girl show, you know.
Okay.
And like I was watching that with my sister, and that's like some of my first anime exposure. Then I watched like My Bride is a Mermaid, you know, another classic. Everybody's watched that, right?
Yeah. Woo.
And from that, like I kind of branched out into watching like the big like shonen series a bit, and then just into a bunch of small like a bunch of like little things. But I think I really got into anime when I started watching like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and just series like that. That's when I really got into and like just started binging a bunch of shows.
So my question is, how'd you go from whatever your first anime was, your magical girl anime, into like somewhat like romance type, into like what you now watch, like Fate and like Full Metal and stuff? Like, you just like fall like, oh, this is mainstream, everyone's talking about it, let me watch it, or
So like it pretty much went into like I watched that, right? I'm kind of exposed to the anime world. And then like I said, I'd already been watching DBZ, so then I go back and watch Dragon Ball. I watch GT. That leads me to like Naruto, right? And then from there, I watched like a bunch of like small series you guys have never heard of, like romances and stuff, to like also like get that in my resume, I would say.
Alright.
But like I said, like I watched like Brotherhood, and that like I think that's what kind of like hooked me on anime. Maybe like that's when I just started like watching a bunch of anime like by myself and just binging them.
Alright. Do you want to go or you want me to
I'll go. Alright. So admittedly, I started off a normal kid, only watching the DBZ and Dragon Ball Z, and then by 7th grade, a friend named Harrison, a friend that will probably not come on this podcast, but he introduced me to like Blue Exorcist, and like I thought the series was cool, but I didn't really like it. And then he also introduced me to Oran Host Club, which I really liked. And from there, I kind of expanded. I looked at like popular stuff at first, like I looked up like Death Note, uh, like or what was the other one? Attack on Titan. That was big at the time. And then slowly I evolved when I have like Hulu and stuff, which has a big list of anime. So I just eventually just started looking around in their sections to figure out. Yeah, and then it just evolved from there. So I became the degenerate I am today.
I guess for me, so I've been exposed. So I used to watch a lot of like TV. I mean a lot of TV. I watched like generic like cartoon shows. But I also used to stay up very late at night. And then after Cartoon Network, there was always Adult Swim that came on, and I've always and at that point I got exposed to DBZ because that's when DBZ like this is very young as a child, but and I liked it, right? Like I remember as a kid I loved it, and I'm talking about kid as in like 4, 5, 6 years old, right? But obviously I'm not remembering stuff from it. So as it hit middle school life, I definitely forgot that I watched this stuff, or like keep in the back of my mind. And then my cousin, who just like came over to stay and help my family for a little bit, introduced me into stuff like Lucky Star. But I was like, okay, whatever. This is like kind of like cartoonish like style and like storytelling, right? After that, he showed me Platoon, which was actually one of my first animes I ever watched, and I actually loved Platoon. And this surprised me of how I got because this is very action based. It's like a battle royale. It's like literally what like defined battle royale, just like with bombs and stuff. And then moving on from there, he showed me. I did not get into anime world at this. I literally took only recommendations from him. So then he told me to watch Sword Art Online because Sword Art Online 2 just came out, and then I was watching Sword Art Online 2 with it, and I didn't understand a single thing they were talking about. So then he told me to watch Sword Art Online. Watched Sword Art Online. Then I watched Sword Art Online 2 with it. Following that was Parasite. And all of these obviously are not romances, so how I got into romances was very interesting because, as I'm looking through, right, I watched Nisekoi because just seeing like reviews of it and one of my favorite like YouTubers like talking about Nisekoi, I was like, this is very interesting. About a week later, I finished season 1 and 2. And I was like, wow, I am very intrigued into like romance and high school like dramas. And yeah, no, that just like led me today, which is I'm literally trying to find to this point where from middle school I did not know what any school romance. I'm struggling to find like good school romances and stuff like that. So yeah, I went from like action to like romance. But yeah, so but that's how I went. But I like how we all like took a turn from like I guess what it like yeah, we took a turn a little bit from like what we were shown at first. But yeah,
Yeah, in a way.
I didn't start off with mainstream. Like later on, I watched Death Note, and I actually have not watched. I have not finished season 1 of Attack on Titans, and I've watched like 2 episodes of season 2. So
Yeah, I've not watched. I haven't finished Attack on Titans. It was big, but I was like, I didn't like it. I was like,
Trying to get our podcast to popular. Come on, guys, let's
yeah, Netflix,
popular opinion.
Naruto.
Hey, man, people don't like that anymore, guys.
We love My Hero.
I can't
All
lie.
right.
But yeah, no. Other than that, like, yeah, it's just like it's fun because while like looking through like my portfolio of like animes I've watched, it's hilarious how much how you look at it at first, you know, you see my top rated stuff, like you see mainstream stuff, right? Okay, and then you see like romances and like dramas, okay, and then you see as I slowly start to rate things down, it becomes um English. But yeah. So anything else you guys want to do or talk about before we move on?
Nah, I'm
Nope.
good.
All right. Well, I'd like to say thank you for coming. This is Slice of Life, and yeah, I hope we can do this again. And when we do, we'll talk about more stuff. Yeah, I hope you guys see you later. I'm Tommy with Horace and Joshua.